I shouldn't be recording. What's happening, everybody? My name is George Passas.
Yes, and I'm Michael Domajanko. I'm from Malara Building and Development.
And I'm from Passas Group. And what we wanted to do today was a quick cap and overview of GrowthCon 4. So we've come all the way from Melbourne, Australia. So both myself and Michael, and also my brother who's come, have made a fair investment to be here for this trip. It took us 14 hours to fly here, had to get over jet lag and attend the event and pay for the event. So it's a fair bit of our time and money, and what we wanted to do is share with you what we thought about the first day and what we got out of it.
Yeah, the day one was pretty good. We had some pretty amazing speakers that I probably didn't even know about until the day actually started. So Scooter Braun, even though I've heard his name and that type of thing, I really didn't know too much about him, but he had probably some of the best takeaways that I probably got from the day, I would say.
Yeah.
So he was a very impressive speaker and he really encapsulated the crowd, I felt. How did you feel?
Yeah, I thought he was really good too. I quite enjoyed his speak and how he got to where he wanted to be. And one of the biggest takeaways I think that he said is don't look at him and set yourself up to do what he's doing and how he got there, because he kind of does put it down to a bit of luck.
Yes.
Not taking anything away from him, but there's not that many people at that age, at 20 years old, that hit the big time like he did, by landing a Justin Bieber or doing what it did. But in saying that, he did still have the balls and the audacity to actually take that risk and to go down that path. But, who's...
Yeah, and 100%.
It could have gone either way.
But other 19-year-olds are getting drunk, where he was 19, he was running the party. I think in so many words he sort of said, I'm not interested in drinking, I'm more interested in running the party and making money off the party. So he saw that pretty early on, and I felt like that was pretty important and a really good takeaway. From other speakers, who else caught your eye today?
Look, Magic Johnson was really good too. Again, I hadn't heard much from him, and he was the first one up at the first speaker. And he was really focused, I think, on your hard work and having that discipline about yourself and pushing and having high goals and high expectations. He gets up at 4 o'clock every morning to get the most out of his day and to be a high
Never
performer.
forgetting your customer was key with him, because he was talking about putting Starbucks in urban areas and stuff where it wasn't notoriously known for having Starbucks, because people were told, he was told by people that no one's going to pay $5 for a coffee, but they just weren't going to pay $5 for a scone. And that was like a really good thing that I picked up in his speech, is like from my business, it's not forgetting who my customers are. I'm not going to go into the areas where I build and start offering rubbish forms of Tupperware or something like that, because there's an expectation there that they want better Tupperware, or so to speak, as an analogy. But I thought that was a pretty good piece. Yeah,
absolutely. Look, the other thing is about GrowthCon as well. It's, we're coming from Australia and we're coming to this event, and even though we're from another country, there's still that opportunity to network with people.
Yeah.
When we first arrived, we actually bumped into a couple of guys from Melbourne, and we know of a couple of other people that are from Melbourne and from Australia. Not only that, we're friendly with everyone too. We're speaking to people, and you're saying hello and you're saying good day. And actually, one of so I'll just show you this. So before we left Melbourne, we actually did a quick Instagram story. I'll show you just here. All right, and that's pretty much the video of it, right? So you can see us there at Melbourne Airport, and we tagged Grant Cardone, and then he put that on his page as well. He then forwarded that on. And what I found is today, speaking to people, a lot of people were like, hey man, you look familiar. Where are you from? And I said, I'm from Melbourne, Australia. He's like, oh, you're the Aussie guy on Grant's page.
Yeah.
So it was amazing to have that connection in itself. So you really need to go to an event like this with an open mind, and with one to say, hey, my name's George, this is what I do, what do you do? And it's amazing the connections that you can make. So that's where you're going to get a lot of value, getting like-minded people in the same room, and people that are there to better their future and better themselves.
Don't disagree at all. I mean, Grant and Elena brought it up themselves today. It's about getting all the 10Xs in one room and having the same vision, because at the end of the day, it's a lonely ride to the top. And all these people are wanting to get to the top. And if you're wanting to get there, no matter how far up the food chain they end up getting, the further up they get, the lonelier it gets. So to be in a room full of the same people with the same aspirations and the same ideas, same ideals is really, really important, I found, and probably one of the major things to go for this event.
Now, if you're thinking of going or haven't gone or want to go or whatever it might be, so there's obviously varying levels of tickets that you can buy. You can get your nosebleeds per se that are start at $90 or something like
yeah.
that, all the way down to your diamond seat, which is a $10,000 ticket. So your experience when you're there will be the same. When you're sitting in a seat, you're going to get in the same information. You're going to see the same speakers as someone sitting in the diamond section. The difference will be with that is generally the people that will be sitting in a diamond section or a VIP or the premier section is the people you're sitting next to. So they will probably be more established businesses that can see the value in paying a bit more for a ticket.
Yeah.
And that people that you could connect with. Maybe if you're in the higher sections, you could be an employee or an entrepreneur starting out or someone wanting to do a bit of business or get to that position. And even Grant said during his speak as well, he goes, you might have the $97 ticket today, but you should be working to come down closer because of the connections that you can make. Look, today's only day one, and I'll probably reserve my assessment for the final day and see where it's at. I personally had a premier ticket, which was a $5,000 ticket.
Yep. And I had the VIP, which is $2,500. So
yeah. So I mean, our experiences again are exactly the same from the day. We both go to an after party after it tonight. There's an additional after party which I'll go to tomorrow, which Michael's not invited to. Sorry,
no,
mate.
Sorry. Maybe next year.
Yeah,
I'll scale up for next year.
That's right. So you really just got to assess for yourself. I can't sit here and say definitely go for the VIP ticket, definitely go for the diamond ticket. It's up to you and where you're at with your business and your life and how you're going to benefit from it. So I reckon...
In saying that, though, I think just being in the room is helpful, no matter where you are at in business with your business, I suppose. Just having a ticket and getting in there first and start. If you have to start at the cheap, I think it's still worthwhile. But it's because the people in the room who are talking have got very worthwhile insights.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the other thing too. You might look at it and go, oh, what am I going to get out of that? What's the ROI of me spending this money? If you walk away with one good thing from it that you can implement into your business or your life, then it's probably a successful thing.
Yeah. And
really, even from me just saying that, I think I've walked away with a couple of good things today that I just, even though they were just like little comments that I like, that'll help improve my, my personal life or my business life or whatever it might be. It just helps you refocus your targets on what you want and what you want to achieve, in your business.
Definitely. Wouldn't disagree.
I think from day one, I think it's positive. Dana White came out, which I was stoked about. So I love the UFC. He's messaging me straight away. This is your fanboy moment. I think it was pretty much the first time I really stood up and cheered because I was like, oh, how good's this? So it was great to hear from Dana White and awesome for Grant to bring Dana White out. That
was a surprise, by the way. We should probably let everyone know. No one
knew.
even knew he was going to be attending.
Yeah, that's
really,
right.
really
apparently
cool.
There's 3 other surprises, over the next 2 days that'll be coming out too. So I'm looking forward to see what that will be.
Yeah.
We also got to see Dani Garcia, which was also really interesting. She was interviewed by
some
Elena.
resume.
Yeah, awesome resume.
Yeah.
Like the things that she's done and accomplished and achieved over her career were awesome. And again, she gave some insights and also some takeaways that I really liked. Like one of her comments was, don't quote me again, but it was, I think I need to pull that.
What was it about?
I can't remember. It's not good. I should have had this prepared earlier. Sorry, guys. I'll check it on my phone.
But in saying that, though, I was saying it to Nathan earlier before, but it was interesting to see Elena's response to Dani Garcia.
Yeah.
It was like she had witnessed her own Elena, where most of the women in the room, they look up to Elena Cardone like, wow, she's doing so well. And it was funny to see that face on Elena's face herself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And look, this is another thing I see, and this is not discrediting anyone, but you do get even fanboys and girls at these events where they'll see Grant and they're like, oh my God. But look, what you need to do and realise is they put their pants on 1 foot at a time, just like you do. Okay, so they're people just like you are, and me. They've just achieved a lot more, and it's great to aspire to be something like that. But I think it's also, this is my personal belief, I don't hold it against anyone that acts any differently, but I just see him as my equal as far as a human being is concerned, but definitely something that I would aspire to want. And what they've achieved is fantastic.
You look up to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And even from a mentor point of view, I definitely would say that that Grant and a lot of his teachings has helped me in my business and the way I approach things, as have other, entrepreneurs and influencers and whatnot that I've got information from too. So Yeah, I think that's the main reason I'm here. You know what I mean? That's you're coming in, you can see, you get those little takeaways. But it's one thing to be busy writing notes all day and just burning your paper. It's another thing to take these notes and actually implement them when you go home. So you really need to be motivated when you come here to not only attend the function and be entertained, which it is very entertaining.
Yeah.
They've got the light shows happening. There's fire. There's pyro. Everything that's going on. But
mind you, I think Grant's going to enjoy that pyro show that we're getting a little bit tonight. As you were saying with his wife.
Yeah, that's right.
That's funny.
That's right. So it's another thing to actually implement it into your business or to your life or whatever you want to do. So
I wouldn't disagree 1 minute. And this is like living proof. This is coming out of it, and just whilst it's fresh in our minds, telling the audience about what we took away from it and that type of thing, and just giving a review is very important. And it's about going home now and implementing it and sharing it with the team. And I think I forgot forgive me, but the last guy who spoke, who's actually part of the 10X team.
Dawson.
Yeah, Brandon Dawson.
Yeah.
How he spoke as well about the importance of including your team.
Yeah.
I think is very good. And if you are able to afford that for whatever size team you have and get one of the suites and bring the whole team along, I think that would be a very worthwhile thing to do. I know that I kind of came away from the day thinking of myself that I'd love to do that for my team one day, if and when we can afford it. And I think that would be awesome to have the whole team there really soaking up that atmosphere.
Yeah, absolutely. And Brandon Dawson was excellent speaking to, as was Grant. And Grant and Elena spoke as well.
And we kind of just forgot about them, really, and it's their event. But
they're kind of a given to speak. But, they were also very good. Grant was recently voted one of the best public speakers around. I can't remember what publication.
He's a great interviewer as well. How he interviewed and handled Scooter was awesome.
Yeah. Oh, and Dana White too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So he's very charismatic and definitely knows how to handle a crowd, as does Elena and Brandon too. So Brandon is very focused with Cardone Ventures and scaling businesses and pushing that aspect too. And the other thing, Jared Glant was there, VP for Grant. And he was almost like an MC, acting sort of talking between guests and also interviewing people from the crowd or businesses and organisations from the crowd that have or are 10Xing their business and how they've incorporated a lot of the teachings. Look, with anything, they're a business as well and they're there to sell too. So just be mindful of that. They were there selling Cardone University and selling all their other businesses and ventures that you could get involved in. They are a business and they are selling stuff too. So that's nothing that I was surprised about, and I don't think it's shameful because they're there to help. I actually genuinely get what's the word? I genuinely get a feeling that Grant does want to help.
He's genuine,
yeah. Yeah, I do. I get that. I don't feel like he's there taking the piss out of anyone. And if you're not Australian and don't understand that term, it means I don't feel like he's taking advantage of people and trying to con them. I don't feel like that's the case because he's too consistent with what he says. He's either a very good actor or a liar. So or he's a very good actor or he's telling the truth. So I don't think you could hold that persona up too long. So I think he's genuine with what he says and wanting to help. And at the same token,
it's his why statement, isn't it?
But he's made his money.
He's made that his why statement.
He doesn't need to do this either. He doesn't need money from people or to sell these products. Like he could easily retire, but he still pushes and he still wants to help. So I think it's coming from a good place. His help. And if it suits you, like a lot of people I've spoken to.
So would you go again next year?
I don't know yet. I'd have to see for the next
to remain of the 2 days. It's too early to say.
I mean, if it was in Australia,
you wouldn't even give it up. Yeah, we wouldn't even think twice about it.
Exactly.
For us to take a week out of work and
that's where I'm at. Like at the moment, and again for me and anyone else watching for your business, it is a fair commitment. You're going away for a week, say 5 days, a week, 3 days, whatever you can get away. That's time away from your family. It's time away from your friends and your business as well.
Yeah.
So the beauty about technology today is we can operate remotely and being able to be in constant communication with our team back home and families. But
it does help, yeah.
Yeah, it's a massive help. I was just FaceTiming with my wife and kids before, and it's like you know, you kind of you have that connection. You know,
Yeah.
I miss them, and it's great to see.
They
their
won't forget
faces.
about you.
Oh, exactly. That's right. So, I don't know. I'll reserve my
Judgment
for day 3.
Yeah, well, maybe
then I'll
we'll
let you know.
reconvene this on day 3 and see how we feel.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe to our channels. I'm on Passcon Group and
Malara Building and Development.
Building, and then also I've got my business page, George Passas.
Yeah,
and
Michael Domajanko.
It's with a silent J.
Yes,
that one.
it's a tough one to spell. We'll put it up in the
right.
subtitles for you.
That's it. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.